Welcome to the press conference for the National Collegiate Women's Wrestling Championships, the annual national tournament for NCAA women's wrestling teams, which will be held here, right here in the Alliant Energy Powerhouse tomorrow and Saturday. My name is Sandy Stevens, and I will be coordinating, I guess is the right word, this event this afternoon. I will also be a co-announcer for the tournament, but just as important, I am so thrilled to be here because Cedar Rapids is my hometown. I was born and reared here. My late husband was born and reared here, was the first wrestling coach at Kennedy High School. Our children were born here, so my roots are really deep here, even though I live in Illinois. This is the first time that this competition has been held off campus since the competition was created by the National Coalition of Wrestling Organizations in 2020. There will be 200 athletes from across the nation competing here with the 20 best in each weight class, battling for national titles and All-American honors. Athletes qualify through 5 regional events to make it here to Cedar Rapids. The 3-time defending NCWWC team champion is McKendree University. For the first half of the press conference this afternoon, we've invited 5 talented student athletes who will be competing here. A bit about the format. I will be introducing each student athlete, and then I will ask each wrestler one question. When they are done, we'll open it up for questions from the media here. If we have time, we'll allow for some time for one-on-one interviews as appropriate. Let me introduce the 5, first of all. Excuse me, Yelena Makoyed, North Central College, and you can see their names, so you'll be able to figure out who they are. Ashlynn Ortega, King University. Sydnee Kimber, McKendree University. Marissa Gallegos, Colorado Mesa University. And Marlynne, Deede, of Augsburg University. Okay, let us start with Yelena. Yelena is a senior from Orangeville, California, competing at 170 pounds. She's a 2-time national champion and a 4-time women's collegiate All-American. You know what? I just realized I skipped. Let me go back to that. Yelena is a senior from Orangeville, California, competing at 170. She's a 2-time NCWWC national champion and a runner-up as a freshman. Yelena is also on our senior team. She is the only one of the 5 on USA Wrestling's senior team. So Yelena, I'm going to ask you a question about that. How does being on the USA Wrestling national team affects what you do daily in practice and preparation?
That's a good question. I think it keeps me on fire for the sport, and it keeps me fueled and motivated. It's easy to become complacent in collegiate athletics sometimes if you feel like you're not getting a challenge, or you feel like you're just not wrestling hard enough tournaments. It's easy to get complacent and kind of just go backwards in your wrestling, your technique, and your conditioning. But just knowing that I have bigger things like international competition and like other bigger tournaments and harder tournaments to go to, it keeps me motivated. It keeps me going.
Okay. It changes the perspective, isn't it?
Yeah.
Right. Okay. Our second one is Ashlynn Ortega of King University, which is in Tennessee. She is a redshirt senior from Pueblo, Colorado, competing at 143 pounds. She was a 2022 national champion and a 4-time women's collegiate All-American. As a returning champion, Ashlynn, have you prepared any differently this year than you have in the past?
No, I don't. I would say that my preparation has been pretty consistent throughout the years, and we've added a lot of elements that have helped me, and things that we kept. Like an example is training with one of our men on our guys team, and I trained with him yesterday. So if it's not broke, don't fix it, and that's kind of the mentality that we've had, and we've been developing things, and yeah.
Thank you. Sydnee Kimber is from McKendree University in Illinois. She is a senior from Sitka, Alaska, competing at 191 pounds. She's a three-time national champion, trying for her fourth national championship. Now, Sydnee, we met in Alaska when I announced you in the Alaskan tournaments for several years. Why, how did you end up in Illinois from Alaska?
So that's a question I definitely get a lot. So from our old coaching staff, his wife was actually from Alaska. She was the first Alaska state or girls state champion for men's wrestling. So I kind of like got connected through her and through Sam, our previous coaching staff, and so it kind of just dragged me down here. I'm glad I did, and I've gone through a lot down here, but I think it's all been for the best to leave home and be where I'm at now.
Thank you. Next is Marissa Gallegos from Colorado Mesa University. She's a redshirt junior from Denver, Colorado, who competes at 123 pounds. She's a three-time All-American, including a runner-up finish in 2021. She's placed as high as second. She's the only one of these five who stayed in state. What was behind that decision, Marissa?
For me personally, my family is based out of Colorado. I'm the oldest of 7, and with that, like I have a lot of younger siblings that I wanted to stay close to make sure they're doing well in school. Like we're from inner city of Denver. I mean, there's a lot of distractions there, and I just wanted to be there for them if they ever needed anything, and I wanted them to kind of follow my path. And like so far, I have 2 brothers that are enrolled in wrestling at CMU as well. And I don't know, for me too, like we had some health issues in our family too when I was going into college, and I wanted to stay close to my dad for that, and so that's why I stayed.
Thank you. And our final representative is Marlynne Deede of Augsburg University, which is in Minnesota. She's a senior from Springville, Utah, who competes at 155. She's a 3-time National All-American. What drew you to this sport in the beginning?
That's a good question. I think I actually in high school I wasn't super drawn to the sport, but something about it made me stick with it. And I think it wasn't until I started college that I started to realize the importance of having a passion for the sport and having a community of people. And I think I made that decision probably towards the end of my freshman year that this is, something that matters to me. So it's been a long process, but I guess it wasn't until my college career that I found the importance of wrestling and what it means to me, and now I'm driven by that passion.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it. I think we have some time, Gary, right?
Yeah, media. Sure.
Anybody could ask questions if you'd like to for a few
Want to
minutes.
go first?
We'll open it up to questions from the media. Please raise your hand and identify yourself and your media outlet, and indicate which of the athletes you'd like to answer the question, or if it's a question for all of the student athletes. Yes.
My name is KJ Poulter. I'm with the Cedar Rapids Gazette, and this question is for all 5 athletes. In the 4 years of this event, the teams that are represented in the programs that are here have almost doubled. What's that say about the growth of women's collegiate wrestling, and how does that kind of impact the maybe level of competition?
Yeah, I think it's like everybody contributing like a huge amount from like different areas, like what we're doing right here, like this press conference for the media. Like, I mean, it might not seem like it's super serious, like we don't have a humongous crowd or anything, but still, like for the media, it's good because it contributes to the growth of women's wrestling. And even like moving nationals from Adrian last year to this huge arena where more people could attend, and it just makes it seem like more serious, like for us as wrestlers, and I feel like it's like almost more like respectful towards the wrestlers, like for their hard work, like making it seem like more of a serious thing. So it's like everybody contributing their little things, like the photography, the videography, and media, and the wrestlers and the coaches. So yeah, I think, yeah, everyone contributing to.
Did anybody else want to ask?
I'll say that I think our youth development has put a huge impact in how they are developing into the college scene. A lot of states are sanctioned now on the high school level, and you see a lot of younger programs start to develop, and that just shows them opportunity that they have more than just boys high school state to just look forward to. And now that we have opportunities like this, like Yelena was saying, and how it is taken more seriously, I think it excites a lot of people, parents, kids, everybody, coaches, and I would say that contributes to a lot of it as well, just keeping it growing for future generations too.
Kind of what Ashlynn said, I think it's important to recognize how many opportunities there are for the younger generation of girls. It's crazy to see, like, from my own experience of being in high school, I did not have like half as many opportunities that the young girls have now, and I think that comes from all of these people giving back to the sport. And like I said before, all of the older women that are able to come back and coach, and you know, they've all paved the way for all of us, and this is such a cool opportunity that we get to be here at an actual arena. And you know, the opportunities and the people and the support just keeps growing and growing, and I think that is a huge reason for, you know, the growth of the sport and the growth of the sport for young girls. And it's just awesome to see the support from all different types of people.
I think it also contributes to you, not just like the college wrestling, but it makes the college wrestling tougher, and that's gonna make us tougher as a country. I think that's gonna help us win, hopefully soon, a team title against Japan. I hope that happens. You know, it's creating more depth rather than people just running through brackets. They're gonna have tough matches. There's gonna be a 2-1 finals. There's gonna be a 9-8 finals. It's gonna be tough, and I think that's so much better because it's prepping us to compete internationally.
Thank you. Kyle, you had a question.
Yeah, for Yelena, at the national duels, your last loss in college was to Cheyenne Bowman. She bumped up to 191. What were your feelings in that national duels finals when she bumped up and missed out on that opportunity to wrestle her?
It was disappointing. I really wanted to get that rematch, and I think that if she stayed at 170, the outcome of the whole duel, the whole duel could have been different. But yeah, I really wanted that rematch, and I hope I get to wrestle her in the finals at this tournament.
I'm Gary Abbott with USA Wrestling. This question's for Sydnee. Two questions. One, you have an opportunity to be among the first 4-time winners of this tournament, which is pretty cool. Everyone likes the number 4 in wrestling, right? But also, you know, you've been on 3 national championship teams, and all year your team was not ranked 1. It was somewhere else. And just the thoughts about your opportunity personally, and then just how tough McKendree will be this weekend.
Yeah, so obviously we had a change of coaching staff this year, and with that we had a lot of change on who was on our team. I think that change for us was good, and like good for me. I found my love for the sport again with Coach Alexio and the environment he creates for our team, and with that, like finding my love and willing to give everything to wrestling again. I've just been willing to give everything to the mat, and I think the team is too. And like as far as like not being ranked #1 all season, I mean we've had a really good season. We've gone through a lot of adversity. We've had a lot of challenges with new coaches and new girls and stuff, but I think we're ready to show what we have this weekend. We've peaked and we're ready to give it everything.
Are there any other questions for all of these young ladies or any of them? I would like to ask one question that any of you could answer. We have seen the growth of wrestling among little girls. What do you hope those little girls feel or see when they look at you, when they watch you?
So I hope, I mean, I went back this winter to the Alaska State Tournament in December, and I practiced with my high school for a couple practices before they left, and these were girls I've never even met or anything, and they're in high school, but the way that they looked up to me and were like so excited that I was in the room and I got to drill with them and even just have a conversation. And you know, that goes for little kids too, the Little Kid Wrestling Club. They all, my dad coaches the little kids, and they all know me and they all watch my wrestling matches, boys and girls. And I hope that they can see that, especially coming from Alaska, there is a way out and there is opportunities to leave the state and go travel and wrestle and even go to school somewhere else.
I guess I hope girls, young girls can see the strength in all of the women here and all of the women competing. I think, you know, it's cool to have media and coverage covering women so that the young girls can see how strong these women are. And, you know, I hope they can see confidence and strength, and, you know, it's cool to kind of lay out these different opportunities for them. So I hope they can see all of that in these women.
Thank you. Do any of you have, go ahead, I'm sorry.
Again, this is for anybody that wants to answer. This is a unique competition where you have individuals from all three NCAA levels, Division I, Division II, and Division III. I guess what is the feeling to kind of share the stage with schools that athletes in other sports really don't get the opportunity to do, and if that adds anything to the competition?
So far, to me, it doesn't seem like the divisions really matter as much. I think we're still growing so much that there hasn't, at least from what I think, there hasn't really been too much separation of the divisions. But it is kind of cool because where I come from at Augsburg, we obviously compete against different schools than they do, but it kind of sets us apart a little bit from, you know, the other athletes. But it's cool because we get to compete on such a, you know, a much bigger stage, and, you know, I don't know, I don't think there's as much difference yet. I think it will definitely change over time.
Here.
Yeah, this is for Ashlynn. So I'm sure you're aware of the tradition of wrestling for women in King. I mean, they've been putting people on Olympic teams and making world teams, but also for many years they were the most #1 team in WCWA, the national championship at the time. But now that it's gone to NCAA only, you know, King hasn't won yet, right? So what would it mean to you as a member of the current team and to your teammates if you guys were able to come out of here and finish it off the season as the national team champs?
It's the goal. It's the goal for this weekend, and I think we all know that we're very capable of doing it. Like you said, like our history with our program has a lot of prestigious wrestlers that come through it, and there's a reason behind that. Our coaching staff and the culture and philosophy that we all follow behind it produces results, and so it would feel really great, and it would be like a full circle moment to have that back, especially for my last year.
Do any of you have individual questions you want to, we could take a short break and you can ask individual questions of any of these women? If not, I want to hear, did you?
Well, I think I'll just grab somebody and do a quick interview.
Okay, that's fine.
So, yeah,
We have some time, go ahead.
excellent.